Howdy, welcome into A to Z Sports Picks. Brad and I have got a great show for you this Friday. Get you ready for the betting weekend. Brian, it's good to see you, buddy. How we doing?
I'm doing a lot better after I looked up that Kyle Pitts prop. Then we'll get to it. In a minute. Dude, but I'm good. I'm good.
I love it, man. I love it. Everybody, welcome in A to Z Sports Picks. I'm Alan Bell, CBS Sportsline, alongside of Brian Edwards of VegasInsider.com. A to Z Sports Picks are brought to you every Tuesday and Friday by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Everyone, make sure to download that BetMGM app. If you do, use promo code A to Z100. And if you put a $1 money line wager on any college football team tonight, if a team scores a touchdown, you win $100. All right, we've done it. We've used it. It works. They put that those credits, that money in your account ASAP. That's BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Promo code A to Z100. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older. Must be present in the state of Tennessee. For gambling problem support, call the Tennessee Red Line at 800-889-9789. So, like I said, Brian, it's good to see you, buddy. We got football all over the board, dude. What a hell of a game we had last night in the NFL, man.
Man, Dak Prescott looked incredible. And it was a hell of a game back and forth. We had everything in that game. Zerline was awful for most of the game, but then he hit that clutch one, and but Tampa had the last shot at it.
Yeah, it was it was just incredible, dude. Like watching Tom Brady do his thing, watch how good Dak looked. It was just a great game, and I hope that it is kind of a precursor to what we're going to have in the NFL this weekend. But speaking of the NFL, dude, we have zero time to waste. We're going to jump right into it today. Everybody, understand the formats of how we have this show now that we're in the season. Tuesday, you joined with us, and what we did was we broke down the NFL Week 1. We broke down college football Week 2. We broke down the SEC Week 2. We broke down parlays. We did all of that to set the table for what the Friday show is, and that is strictly finding bets, placing bets, and making money for this weekend. So we're going to start right out of the gate, buddy, all right? What we call prop it like it's hot, all right? Each one of us are going to identify our best NFL props for this weekend in the NFL. So, Brian, you alluded to a minute ago. I'm going to throw it to you first, man. You going with the rookie right out of the gate.
Yeah, I'm going to go with two of them. I do like Pitts. So Kyle Pitts, Atlanta Falcons tight end, who loyal listeners know I've said about 18 times to take him to win Rookie of the Year honors. And I noticed yesterday his odds have gone up there to 12-1. So even better. I got a little more of it yesterday. But my prop, or my favorite prop, is going to be Kyle Pitts receiving yards over 48.5 against the Eagles. And I'm also going to go same game. Another rookie, two of the best rookies in this class. Outside of Najee Harris, I would say the two non-quarterback. Well, actually, Kyle Pitts is the best rookie in the entire class, period. But Devontae Smith is who I'm talking about, the Alabama product. Now, I know he had an injury early in camp, but he's all good to go now. And his receiving yards prop is 43.5. I'll take that over, but I'm on the Pitts one for more money management wise, more on Pitts, but I like the over for Devontae and Kyle Pitts, 48.5 and 43.5 respectively.
Nice. All right. I've got three that I'm playing. First one, Robbie Anderson. All right. Wide receiver, Carolina Panthers. Now, I'm not necessarily the biggest Robbie Anderson fan in the world. What I am a fan of is how much of a fan Sam Darnold is of him from their time with the New York Jets. Now they're both on the Carolina Panthers. Darnold's first game, obviously starting against the Jets. So Robbie Anderson over 4.5 receptions, minus 125. I really like that play. Second one, Carson Wentz. He got the start, was announced the starter about an hour ago for the Indianapolis Colts against Seattle at home on Sunday. What we all expected pretty much after this week of practice, him being out there. I'm going to Carson over half an interception. So basically him to throw a pick in the game at plus 105. Plus 105, man. Like, I couldn't believe that the odds were that high, honestly. I thought I'd have to pay a little juice on that. And then the third one I've got is our man Tua Tagovailoa rushing yards over 13.5. They're playing against New England in New England. That's priced at minus 115. Look, I think that this is going to be one of the best games of the weekend. And I think that Tua is going to use his legs to get out there and move the chains. And if you're looking at 13.5, I think he could get that. He could accomplish it in one, kind of scramble, but you're probably looking at 2 to 3, right? And I feel comfortable with that. So to go over mine again, Robbie Anderson over 4.5 receptions, Carson Wentz throw an interception, and Tua Tagovailoa over 13.5 rushing yards. Brian, say yours again.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts over 48.5 receiving yards for the Falcons, and Devontae Smith over 43.5 receiving yards for the Eagles.
Nice. Okay, perfect. Now, we got the props out of the way. All right, that's step 1. Step 2, college football. All right, we have to identify our winners, our picks, our best bets for this weekend. So, Brian, I'm going to let you go first again, buddy. All right, what are all of the best college football bets that you have for this weekend?
Okay, I'm going to go Eastern Michigan plus 26.5 at Wisconsin. EMU is 19-2 against the spread with 9 outright wins in their last 21 as road underdogs, whereas Wisconsin is just 5-12 against the spread its last 17 as a home favorite. And since beating Illinois 45-7 in week 1 and then beating Michigan 49-11 in week 2 last year, since then, or let me backtrack. In those 2 games, Graham Mertz, the quarterback, had 7 touchdowns without an interception. Since then, Wisconsin is 2-4 in 6 games, and Mertz has an abysmal 2-7 TDI-INT ratio. And he was awful last week against Penn State. And in those 4 losses, they've scored 30 combined points, an average of 7.5 points per game. Let's go Eastern Michigan. They're a road underdog juggernaut. Let's also fade Scott Frost. He's just 4-8 against the spread in 12 games as a home favorite since getting to Nebraska. We're going to go with the Buffalo Bulls plus 14 in Lincoln. The Bulls only lost 1 game last year. Granted, it was an FCS team in Wagner last week, but they won 69-7. They were up 59-0 at the end of the third quarter. The Bulls are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 as double-digit underdogs. Let's also go with UAB. Now, I got this number at 27. It's down to 24, but JT Daniels has an oblique issue. He's listed as questionable. Now, I do expect him to play, but I don't know about all his weapons that were out last week. They might all be out again this week, and UAB is no joke. They've been in the Conference USA title game 3 years in a row, winning it in 2018 and last year. I like UAB plus the big number. Let's also go with Kentucky. I was impressed with Will Levis, the transfer from Penn State. Kentucky's been decent as a home favorite lately, 6-4 against the spread, whereas Missouri 5-11 against the spread in its last 16 as a road dog. And Central Michigan had more first downs than Missouri last week, 27-22, had more yards than them, 475-468, and their head coach wasn't even there. I like the pop that Kentucky seems to have in their passing game now with a big arm quarterback and the Nebraska transfer, Wan'Dale Robinson, 5 receptions, 125 yards last year. And I'll just real quickly with no explanation, I'll just squeeze in a couple more. South Carolina -2 at East Carolina. And I'm going to go with Pitt -3 at Tennessee. Tyon Evans, the Vols running back, best running back, is not going to play, nor is their starting center Cooper Mays or their promising JUCO transfer linebacker Byron Young. And the Vols are 4-9 against the spread. Their last 13 is home dogs. Pat Narduzzi's got a good front 7. I think Heupel's playing the wrong quarterback in Milton, and he needs to give him the hook for Hendon Hooker if he starts poorly tomorrow.
Nice. I like it. That's a good list there, man.
Thanks.
All right. So, you know what? I'll start right there with Pitt at Tennessee. I'm going under 56. It might even be 57 at your book. But this game screams to me like an under. I don't see Tennessee scoring too terribly much. And quite frankly, I don't see Pitt scoring 45, right? Like, I don't think that this is going to be some kind of offensive blowout like we saw last night. They're honoring Johnny Majors. I could see this being a game that resembles a game during Johnny Majors' time, right? Like first downs, field position, like those things are going to matter. So, yeah, you get it at 56, 57. This game probably gets to 47. And I'm with you. I think Pitt's the better team. If I were to take a spread, I would ride on Pitt, but I like the under much more. Tonight, I'm going to go with Coastal Carolina -26.5 against Kansas. Now, look, Kansas won last weekend But I think that plays in our favor here. Kansas is going to be on that high. I think that might be the only win that they get all season. And you look at how Kansas went about it. They ran the ball. I think they ran for 250 yards. And it's not like Coastal Carolina's rush defense is that great. They gave up 240, I think, to Citadel. But it's going to be hard for Kansas to run the football when they're down 20, okay? It's just going to be difficult for them to do it. So Coastal Carolina is going to kind of dictate how this game is played. And I think this is the biggest game that they've ever hosted at home in a regular season. Like, they're going to be going bananas at this place, man. So I like them in this spot. And the last thing on it is this. Coastal Carolina rushes, they average 14 yards per rush. Obviously, it's only one game, but still, they run in chunks. So even if the game is out of hand in the second half and they're just running to kill the clock, they're still going to be putting up points. So I think you're in a good spot here, 26.5. I also like Air Force -6 against Navy. I could see a lot of people wanting to play the under in this game, and I certainly understand why. I don't think it's going to be high scoring at all, but I think Air Force is a much better team than Navy. I'm just going to leave it right there. The last one, Liberty -4 versus Troy. I think that Liberty is going to come off a week where they looked uncharacteristic for a Hugh Freeze type team. And I think that they are going to take all of that out on Troy. You can get a -4. I know that they're on the road, but those are the 4 that I like. So, Brian, hit me again with yours. Just run through them real quick. What do you got?
Yeah, before I do that, you mentioned the under. I want to throw out a stat. In the last meetings between all service academies since 2005, the under is 38-9-1. So just wanted to squeeze in that stat as Alan noted about you being tempted on the under there. Okay, so I am on UAB. As long as it's 24 now, that number's been going down. As long as you're getting at least 24 UAB. Buffalo +14 at Nebraska. Eastern Michigan +26 or 26.5 at Camp Randall against the Badgers. Kentucky -5. Well, some books are 5.5. They may have even moved to 6 at some spots. As long as you're 7 or fewer, I'm good with it. South Carolina -2 at ECU. Pitt -3 at Tennessee. And I left out Rutgers either -2 or money line at the Cuse. And I did get a little bit of over 52 in tonight's Coastal Kansas game, and not against -7 on Coastal in the first quarter. I think push will probably be a worst case scenario there.
Yep, I completely agree with you. I think those are all good plays that game. I've got Coastal Carolina -26.5, Pitt at Tennessee under 56, Air Force -6 against Navy, Liberty -4 versus Troy. Okay, so we got NFL props. Boom, knocked them out of the way. College bets. Boom, knocked them out of the way. Let's get to the big boys here. NFL Week 1. All right. And Brian, I'll go first. I've made you go first twice here now. I'll go first. I've got 4 games that I'm playing in the NFL this weekend. Okay. First one, Bears at Rams under 46.5. Just play this game out in your head. Like we talked about it on Tuesday. I feel even better about it now. What do you think is going to happen? The Rams look to win games 24-10 and get the hell out of there. They haven't had any of their starters play all preseason. Nobody takes the preseason less seriously than Sean McVay. All right. And you look at the Bears, how many points do you really think Andy Dalton is going to lead against this Rams defense? The Bears and Rams have played the last 3 years. All 3 meetings went under. So I feel great under there, 46.5. Second game, Falcons -3.5 against the Eagles. 1, I think the Falcons are a better team. 2, I think the Falcons are a better coach team. 3, I think the Falcons have the better offense. So I feel comfortable with that. I know that we didn't see much at all out of Atlanta in the preseason, but a lot of people watching pretty familiar with their head coach, Arthur Smith. I'm not worried about that whatsoever. Excuse me. So give me the Falcons -3.5 there. Look, here's a tough one, buddy. Monday night, Ravens -4. I'm sticking with it. I know that Baltimore has lost every single person to an ACL injury, and they need to be checking in on whoever the hell is running that field out there. I'd be a little upset about that, a little concerned there. But look, yes, they've lost running backs. They've signed running backs. Their best running back is their quarterback. All right. If Lamar Jackson's out there, I still feel good with it. Baltimore's got the better offense. Baltimore has the much better defense. And Baltimore has one of the best kickers in the league. And remember, on Tuesday, what we talked about, kickers in the NFL All right. Last year in week 1, remember, 19 field goals were missed. It was, I think, kickers made field goals at a 71% clip, which was the lowest since 1998. What did we see last night? All right.
Zerline had a rough night until the last one.
Yeah, I'm telling you, field goal kickers matter this week, man, in the NFL. They absolutely matter. Pay attention to who you have on your squad and who the other team has, because those 3, 6, 9 points, man, they could absolutely mean everything. And then the last one I have, Bills minus 6.5 at home against the Steelers. There's not a thing in the world that tells me not to bet Buffalo. They what did they cover their last 6 games to end last season? I think they covered the last 3 by 20 plus points. When we saw Josh Allen in the starting offense in the preseason, it looked like they had missed a beat. I know it's the preseason, but still, I don't think Pittsburgh's going to be able to do Buffalo's going to be able to do whatever the hell they want in this game offensively. And I don't really trust the Steelers offense too terribly much. Yeah, will they get Najee Harris? Like, it's going to take more than a running back to win this game, because they're going to be down 10 right out of the gate. So I've got Bears and Rams under 46.5, Falcons minus 3.5, Ravens minus 4, Bills minus 6.5. What do you got, man?
I'm going to go Titans minus 3 versus Arizona. Falcons minus 3. If you can get it at 3. Now, there are a few books at 3 with a minus 120 price, but Alan said 3.5 a minute ago. It looks like more of them are at 3.5. But if you can get 3, and I'm okay with a minus 120 price, I'll go Falcons, but I don't want it at 3.5. Stephon Gilmore's absence concerns me. And, I'm normally not into backing a rookie making his first career start, but that's more so on the road. At home and with Mac Jones, he's just so good. I'm going to go the Pats minus 3. And I'm also going to go with – now I'm still – they kind of have some guys questionable that I kind of want to get some confirmation on before I, put some money out there. But if nothing bad happens on the injury report and we get some, positive news for the Giants, especially like Kadarius Toney playing, and Saquon's going to play. It's just a matter of the workload, but they got a couple other guys questionable. But I definitely lean Giants plus the 3 at home against Denver. So that's Giants, Patriots, Falcons, and Titans.
Beautiful. I like it. Now, let's drop in some picks that we have in here. James Lowell says he's got Pittsburgh minus 3. Same thing that you've got in terms of that game. He's like Vikings minus 3 versus the Bengals. That's a fascinating game. I don't know what to do with either team, to be completely honest with you. Minnesota has had a nightmare training camp in terms of this entire COVID situation, but that could mean something and it couldn't mean nothing. Like that might be nothing, and they could come out and look phenomenal. Cincinnati, Joe Burrow looked good.
Did he play in the last preseason game?
He played in the second to last one, okay. At least for I think it was a series and a half, 2 series. Well, his knee looks good. I mean, his mobility looks good. I've watched a ton of their camp up there just to see how he's operating, right? And the thing that worries me is Jamar Chase. He can't catch the damn football.
Right.
Like, that's what – yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that other than that Ravens game when they got smacked, and depending on the opener against the Chargers, talking about last year with the Bengals, it depended on what line you got. I got an early line on the Bengals plus 3.5 against the Chargers for week 1. And just because I'm such a Joe Brady believer, I bet on them every game until Brady got hurt. And the only one I lost was the Ravens. And then the game he got hurt, which I wasn't necessarily going to lose that unless he got hurt against Washington. So they were very good against the spread when Burrow was healthy. I just can't back them this week because I got to see Burrow healthy. But I think if we do see Burrow, if he's doing as well in his recovery as Dak, but we don't know that until we see it. So.
Well, no, I'm with you. Like I first off, we would never endorse this to begin with, but I'm not somebody who has to bet every game. Like, I have no problem with sitting and waiting and saying, all right, let me just see. Let me get an idea here first. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do with this game. whatsoever. So it's just going to be kind of a wait and see here. Anthony Malley says he's got Iowa State -4.5 against Iowa. That's going to be a hell of a game. I can't wait to see that. And then Mason Heron says he's got Ohio State, Oregon over 63.5. Yeah, I don't disagree with that one either. It's all going to depend on Oregon. I think Ohio State's going to score 35-40. And does Oregon do the same thing? Which they could. Like, this could be a hell of a game, right? Like, it's just one of those where I think it just depends on does Oregon's offense show up? And if it does, dude, you'll have a no sweat day on that over. Yeah, we got Brian.
Well, I was just going to say that, Kayvon Thibodeau, who might be the number one pick in the draft in the 2022 NFL draft, he got his ankle roll up on last week, and he's questionable, and he's probably only going to be a game time decision. So you might want to, I think he's the difference of probably 3 points to the line. So you might want to hang it out until you get that news before you play that game. And on the Iowa game, man, everybody and their sister and their cousins are on Iowa, and it makes me think that Iowa State might be the right side. And look, Iowa was very impressive last week, but Michael Penix threw 3 interceptions. And look, when Iowa gets the lead, and they've got a very good defense, very good running game, but their weakness is Spencer Petras, their quarterback. And Iowa State's going to score. They're not just going to, be able to, kill clock and run the ball. And if they get behind with Spencer Petras, they could be in trouble. Look, it was a pass for me, but I'm just throwing out the heads up. Everybody's on Iowa. Oh, but our friend Anthony, he sounds like he likes Iowa State. That's kind of what I'm thinking. They played bad last week, but they get Charlie Kohler, first team All Big 12, preseason All-American in a lot of publications. He didn't play last week. He's ready to go this week.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game, and I'm with you. I think that's a great breakdown. Okay, so we got props out of the way, college picks out of the way, NFL picks out of the way. We are set up, but we got more, okay? Now, what I want to do here, Brian, is we have a local team, NFL. We have the Tennessee Titans at home against the Arizona Cardinals. So what I want to do is this. We could break this game down, and we could spend 100 hours talking about it. But you know what? We've done that all offseason, as everyone else has too. All I want to do is find a damn winner from this game. That's it. One. I just want to find a winner for this game, no matter what it is. Spread, total, prop, team prop, whatever, first quarter. So that's what we're going to do, all right? Now, I'll go first on this one as well, Brian. So we'll even it up. We went 2-2. Look, I like the Titans to win this game. And I know that this was one of your bets, taking the Titans. I like the Titans to win this game. I don't necessarily like the spread, and I don't necessarily like the total. I think both teams are going to run the ball a lot. I think this clock is going to move fast. I think this honestly could be one of the fastest games that we have in terms of just total time allotment, right? Like, I think Derrick Henry's going to get as many carries as he wants, and I think the Arizona Cardinals are going to run the ball a little bit too. So here's where I went. So I dug deep in BetMGM, dug deep through the props. This is what I found. It's a two-way play here. Money line, and both teams to score 10-plus points. So, yes, on the 10-plus points, that's going to happen. And Titans money line. So that cost me -130. So let me say that succinctly here. Titans to win and both teams to score 10-plus points, -130. The Titans right now on the money line are -160. So I think I found a way to cut 30 cents off of that price and roll with the Titans money line. What do you think?
On your bet, or what about what I'm doing?
Yeah, on that one first, and then fire yours off. Does that make sense? Kind of how I laid it out.
All the Titans have to win outright, and both teams have to score 10 points.
Yep,
that sounds good to me. Sounds like a winner to
exactly. And we cut 30 cents off of it. Titans money line is -160. This is -130. So yeah, that was the best that I could find, man. All right, so what do you got? What's your play?
Just Titans -3.
Yep. Yeah, it makes sense. And you know what? It wouldn't surprise me at all. The Titans cover. Wouldn't surprise me if the game pushes. Honestly, like I think that this number is incredibly efficient. I think it's exactly where the line is supposed to be. And yeah, I mean, I think the Titans win this game. Yeah, that's all I've got. Yeah, I mean, you let it rip. Yeah.
Our listeners also know I'm on the Titans over 9 win total or 9.5. It moved at some books and to win the AFC South. So there's 3 plays: Titans -3 over on the win total and to win the AFC South.
Nice. All right. Now we've got all those. We've got our prop bet set up, college bet set up, NFL bet set up, Titans game bet set up. What could be left? Parlay. We have to find the perfect parlay for this weekend. So we started on Tuesday, all right? We started building it out, and I'm not going to lie. My parlays are the same that we have from Tuesday, and I'll go ahead and let it rip. College, Notre Dame, Liberty, Army, Miami, Kentucky, plus 364. NFL, Bucks, and Austin said it last night on Twitter. We had to sweat that one, but we got it. We got the first leg down. Bucks, Ravens, Bills, Rams, Chiefs, 49ers, plus 484. I played it on college by itself, played it on the NFL by itself, and I played all of them together at plus 2611. So those are my 3 parlays, boy. What you got?
All right. I'm going to keep it simple, stupid, because I really like both of these. I'm going to go Kentucky -200 on the money line at home against Mizzou. I'm going to go Pitt -155 on the money line at Tennessee, and Rutgers -130 at Syracuse. And my apologies, I got to go to the parlay calculator, but it'll only take me a moment, and I am there. And we are going -200, -130. Sorry, y'all. And -155. I'm almost there. And calculate. And that will get us 336.60. So that's Kentucky on the money line at home to Mizzou. Rutgers on the money line at the Cuse. And Pitt -155 at Neyland Stadium in Knoxville.
I like it. Now, our man Jason here, he says, I need a recap of those picks. Absolutely, you're right. Look, we don't have the capability to put it all here on the screen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tweet mine right after the show, so you'll see it on there. Brian, if you could do the same for your picks, just so people have it. That's about the best we could do. Just the format in terms of getting an image up here that works. We could do it. It just wouldn't look pretty for you. So I want to make sure that it's legible and you can read them. So yeah, right after the show, we'll both tweet ours out and so everybody can have it. But that's all the time we have, man. Like that's 30 minutes packed in, a good show. Like we said, this is going to kind of be the format, all right, for this year. And the segments will change a little bit, but pretty much what we want to do is we want to use Tuesday to get way ahead, all right, get ourselves in a prime position to start identifying these plays, where the line movements are going to be, which games we need to hit immediately, which games we need to wait and let the public be stupid and bet it the other way for us. And then on Friday, we're just going to run through it of everything that we have in college, in the NFL, prop-wise, parlay-wise, and the local teams too. So that's all the time we have, man. Brian, any final parting thoughts you have?
Let's go hit some winners, gentlemen. Happy football. Happy winners. Let's do it.
There's nothing I could say to top that. So, yeah, for Brian Edwards, I'm Al Bell. Thank you so much for tuning in. And, man, let's make some money this weekend, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Good luck, everybody.